G'day everyone and welcome back to the Freo Faithful podcast. Drewz, we've won a game.
Yeah, go Freo, we won. Yes, I forgot what winning feels like. It's good to be back in the W column and leave the West Coast Eagles on the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, beautiful. We've won Derby 60 by a big margin as well. However, it could have been far bigger. We won by 38 points. West Coast 10-8-68 to Fremantle 15-16, 106. 15-16 is not a sexy scoreline by any means, but it's a scoreline that gets the job done. Look, 58k at Optus. The energy was very, very strong from the West Coast fans, and I was a bit worried pre-game. I've been nervous all week, but we managed to battle through. We did the fundamentals quite well for probably 3/4 of the game, and that's in the end what got us the win. What do you make of the game as a whole?
The game as a whole, like you said, leading into this game, I had no confidence. Like, with the way we've been playing the last couple of weeks, we've been so far from our best. So, yeah, heading into it, even in that first quarter, like, it was a pretty even opening quarter in terms of the score. So, yeah, I was crapping my jocks a bit. But, second and third quarter, we started to get what we get right. And I think it was just pressure. I think it was just tackling, pressure on the ball carrier, defending the middle arcs of the ground a bit better. It felt like the ball lived in our forward half for most of the day. But yeah, our centre bounce game was back to its best. Serong didn't get tagged, and you can see why teams tag him, because when he gets off the chain, he's one of the best players in the comp. But Brayshaw had a massive game. Noddy was sick. Luke Jackson was just out there having fun. So yeah, I think our midfield got back to its best. And yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of players in this video, but I think the midfield getting back to its best and the pressure was what allowed us to get the dub.
Yeah, we'll stay on the midfield. I thought around the contest, and not just at the centre bounce, but even in the forward 50, just around stoppage, we were so much better and so much cleaner. I feel like we had intent with most of our disposal today. Particularly the three that stood out by the length of the Flemington today. Serong, Brayshaw, and I thought Matt Johnson had a career best game. I've seen some people speaking a little bit down on Matt Johnson's game, and I honestly cannot see which world they're coming from. I thought with disposal in hand, he was so clean, so effective. I thought he was really smart every time he got the ball. He used his size really well today as well, which is something he hasn't necessarily done in the past. He's always had a big frame, but struggled to know how to use it. And I thought he played a really nice defensive role behind the ball today. He got into space. He was good in congestion. Really loved Matty Johnson's game today.
He had 17 disposals, 76% disposal efficiency, which was up from last week, which was about 60%. 4 contested balls, but I think contested possessions, but I think he has gone to another level from what we've seen so far this year, MJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, you can see why teams tagged Caleb Serong, because he got off the chain. He ended up winning a 4th Glendinning Allen medal, tying with Paul Hazelby as the most ever. He's only 24 years of age, by the way. Absolutely insane. And I thought Andy Brayshaw was quite stiff not to win it as well. He got off the chain as well. A bit of pace out the middle. I thought those two really got to work. And I think one man who, around the contest and around the ground, was so crucial, and again could have won the medal, Luke Jackson. It's always the age-old debate. When Sean Darcy comes back in, is he really the best fit for our team? Personally, I think yes. I think Sean Darcy is our main guy. But Luke Jackson today, around the ground, showed his uniqueness as a player. He absolutely dominated Bailey Williams from start to finish. He was unreal. Behind the ball, in front of the ball. What did you make of LJ's game today?
Yeah, he just looked like he was having fun out there. And I know you say, I think Sean Darcy is our man, but I think what you're really saying is you want to think that. You want to believe that Sean Darcy is our man because Luke Jackson in the ruck is so good. I hope we can make it work. But yeah, the start to the season that Luke Jackson's had, there's a lot of good rucks in the competition right now, but he's in that top echelon for sure. But he did really well today, which I'm not sure Sean Darcy has in the repertoire. We'll it remains to be seen. We'll let him come back and do his best work. But the defensive marking, just sitting in the hole and taking those grabs, and then drifting forward, and he got on the end of one, kicked a goal as well. Dogger, we know what he can do. He's a massive presence around stoppages, particularly centre bounce. And that's what gave us the ascendancy in the middle today. He was pretty much getting his hand to it first. Let's look at the hit-out stats. Yeah, 35 hit-outs for the day against Williams, who had 22. So, yeah, definitely in the best. I'm not sure how the voting went. They don't really broadcast the voting, but, yeah, he definitely would have been up there.
Yeah, he was third. Serong had 7, Brayshaw had 6, Jackson had 5-ish. They were the 3 that were consistently in there. I thought Jackson played like a very unique modern ruck role today. It was very Sam De Koning-like. I remember round 1, the way De Koning played was he was very present around the ground, good in the contest, but he sort of, when Geelong had the ball, he sort of floated across the D50 and sort of just picked off marks whenever they came. And I thought Jackson today patrolled his area really, really well defensively and was a big part in keeping possession in the forward 50. I want to move on to our backline, who I thought were massively improved today. We didn't concede a massive score against Sydney last week. In fact, we conceded 68 against Sydney last week, exact same as today. But I just thought as a whole, as a unit, we looked way better. And that was without Brandon Walker. So a big, big well done to our backline. There was a late out as well. Corey Wagner went out, which threw that back mix into the air. And I thought Carl Warner came in, made a couple errors, but I thought as a whole did a reasonable job. And one guy that I think we can all really give plaudits to was Alex Pearce. Just patrolled that back six so well, was everywhere, very composed with ball in hand, crashes packs, and really let Oscar Allen get no space today. I thought Moose had a great game.
Yeah. Oscar Allen got nowhere near it today. I didn't really see, watching on the telly, like what Alex Pearce did, to be honest. But obviously, like, he sets up the whole team from that fullback position. I think Luke Ryan had one of his best games in a long time today. Obviously, he was All-Australian last year, but he went back with the flight. He brought that defensive first mindset, I thought, today, but then set up Amos for a goal. He used that kick to open up the game, kicking into the corridor. He sort of gets champed for being like a kick merchant and a disposal patter, but like I think he really was effective today. Chappie down back was what we know Chapman can do, just really solid, didn't really put a foot wrong all day, turned defence into attack, he intercepted. And Geordie Clark as well, I thought, was back to his best, took some good contested grabs, got forward, and ended up kicking a goal. Yeah, our run today was so much better than West Coast. Like, West Coast aren't a good opposition, let's be real. We can sort of talk to what this result actually means and what it's going to mean in the lead up to the Bulldogs game. But, yeah, just the run from guys like Frederick and Amos late in the game, when Harley Reid went down back, they really just took the piss. But, yeah, who else in our defence today? Brendan Cox, I thought he did okay, but what did you think of Cox's game?
Coxie's a very interesting one. I've always been of the opinion that he's not a great one-on-one defender. We actually had a little debate on the podcast last week about this. Today, I think, I'm not going to say strengthened my point because I still feel like he plays a good role for us as a unit. But I really feel like some of his weaknesses have been on display in the first 3 weeks this season. I thought he got caught out 2 or 3 times one-on-one. Just in a match, and look, you can make the excuse last week in that Amadi one where it was towards the end of the game. He might have been a bit gassed out, but some of these things were happening in the first, second quarter. There was really no excuse for some of the contests he was losing. And then you compare that to when Josh Draper gets put in those exact same situations and he covers the body really well, gets in the right position. And I just think he's much better in those situations. Coxie is an elite interceptor, no doubts about that. But I think we're putting him in too many positions where he can't play his best footy for us.
Interesting. The team defence today was good though. Defending between the arcs, the forward pressure, which we were crying out for last week, was so much better thanks to the prowess of Shea Bolton, Murphy Reid, Dudley. I thought Frederick had a much better game today. Way better than last week. Kicked a nice set shot. Could have been rewarded with another. He probably could have kicked 3, to be honest. But yeah, Frederick was better. As a whole, how did our forward line operate today?
Yeah, it was a weird game. I don't think our forwards will get many more games like that for the year because it feels like every time West Coast had in their forward 50, And then all of a sudden we're on the break every single time. Jai Amos without the back all by himself. It could have been Voss, it could have been Tracy, but most of the time it was Amos, who always had a crack at just running into an open goal square. So West Coast were playing very high up when they had the ball, and on transition, our forward line was very, very easy to use. In terms of when we had the ball and West Coast were setting up behind it, I thought our leading patterns today were so much better. Vossi in particular gets into the right position so many times. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to mark the ball. And I think he's got really, really good footy IQ, Patrick Voss. 1 goal, 3. It feels like the exact same thing game after game for poor old Vossi.
He has the whole package except for set shot goal kicking. Like, we were talking before we were filming about, like, when Josh Tracy came onto the scene, you know, he didn't have the footy smarts, but you could just tell that he could crack in and just, like, crash a pack. And that's the same as Vossi. Like, ever since he's came in, I remember watching him before he got signed for us, like, during an intra-club when he was, like, vying for that SSP spot. And he was just crashing packs, bumping hard. He made McGovern look second-rate at times today. So, yeah, very impressed by him. He just needs to start kicking snags. What did you think of Amos and Tracy? Tracy dominated that second quarter. Amos got rewarded late for his running. But, yeah, how did you assess JT and Amos in particular?
Tracy loves these sort of games. It was a bit like the Melbourne game last year, the second Melbourne game, where Stephen May just pissed him right off. He was pissed off for most of that game, Tracy. Like, I reckon he was going into most contests about 25% harder than he usually would. And he already goes into contests pretty hard. So, yeah, I thought he crash packed so well today. Got in the right positions, made good leads. And even just his set shot routine is such a joy on the eye. Just powers in, kicks through it, 10 rows back. Yeah, just a proper old-fashioned, grateful forward to have. I thought his hands were super sticky today. Didn't drop many. And yeah, overall thought Tracy had a very good game. Amos kicked 4. Didn't really feel like it, to be honest, but Jai needed one of those games. 2 of those goals might have been out the back, but, you know, 4 goals is 4 goals. Jai's been lacking confidence for a while. We were talking about on the pod last week, is Peel Thunder the answer for him? Because he's been lacking form for quite a fair bit of time. And today is a good step in the right direction. You know, 4 goals against quite a poor West Coast defence is, you know, as I said, 4 goals is 4 goals. Jai can hopefully kick on from here. I think it helps him that I think maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, the opposition's best defender would probably be going to him and taking him out of games, where that attention's now probably going to Tracy. So hopefully he can really relish, you know, maybe not having the superstar fullback on him and try and build some confidence from here.
It was weird though. Like, Jinby was playing on Tracy for a lot of today.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, I think they were just trying to bring that physicality. Like Amos and McGovern covered Amos and Voss today. Yeah, like up until the second or the end of the first quarter, I was like, where is Jai Amos? He missed some real sitter set shots. But like he obviously puts himself in the right positions. Yeah, he just needs to get up on confidence, and you know he's going to be that like Jack Gunson, Luke Bruce type for us for a long time. We can get on to Murphy Reid now. Murphy Reid, how this kid slid to pick 16, 17, whatever it was. 10 score involvements in his third game of football. Already looking like an 100 gamer for us. He wears the number 16. He has similar traits to the former number 16. His composure, just the one-touch nature. He wasn't losing one-on-one contests out on the wing. Like, yeah, talk to me about Murphy's game today. It was so good to watch.
The other day, out of curiosity, I was watching, I think it was maybe June or July last year, a mock draft from your good mate Dylan Alexander. And I think he was sitting borderline top 5, going to a team, I think maybe Melbourne. I don't know how on earth he slid to pick 16. I don't know what happened in between July and the draft, but we have an absolute gem on our hands. He looked like a 200 gamer out there today. His pressure around the ball was absolutely top notch. His cleanliness is on a different level. He's sort of got like that David Mundy trait where the whole game just slows down around him. Honestly, I think I put it up on the Freo Faithful Instagram during the game. I actually can't put into words how important his role that he played for us was today. Even just some of his little 1%ers, his taps, his little tap-ons. He made a little tap through his legs that got us into space in the forward line. I think might have led to a goal. His handballs under pressure, absolutely elite. Doesn't misplace a disposal. And yeah, played a really, really nice mix of deep forward and half forward for us today. Pushes up to stoppages. This guy is a serious gem. And honestly, I think before the season, we were sort of saying he might spend a couple weeks at Peel. Like, I had him in my round 1 team, but I wasn't going to be shocked if he spent a couple weeks at Peel. And this guy, within 3 weeks, has absolutely solidified himself as one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment. He is an absolute gun.
100%. The high half forward is a hot topic in football at the moment. It's a buzzword on the live stream that we do, the high half forward. But like we need that link between the midfield and the deep forwards. And there was times today where Murphy Reid found himself in that centre half forward position. There was a time when Jackson, I think, took an intercept mark, ran on through, gave the handballs to Murphy Reid. He like grabs it over the back, comes over, 1 step, 2 step, and just laces out Voss for the goal that Voss kicked. And then there was another moment where I think he hit Jai Amos in the last quarter. And he just was patient with the ball in hand, waited for the lead to happen, and then just put it on a silver platter. You were talking there about like his tapping the ball around. Like if he can't put his head over it and win the ball, he'll just sort of soccer it and make another contest of it. Just a super high IQ player. Yeah, we've got a gun on our hands here. He wasn't the best on ground, but he was definitely up there with being one of the most impressive. Young Bruce. We need to get the Bruce thing going.
Yeah, I know. Imagine Optus just roaring Bruce. Like, Bruce. That would be unreal. I mean, you think about like the atmosphere at the Gabba when bloody Bruce Reveal gets it. Atmosphere at the G when Luke Bruce gets it. Like, we need to create something at Optus. We've got nothing like it.
Oh, we got Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for our next home game. It's going to be elite.
I wonder if anyone at Freo saw that. We were talking about the midfield, and we didn't speak about our man Nathan O'Driscoll, who probably had one of his most mature performances at the AFL level. I think, he kicked the first goal, set the tone, got the crowd up and about from the get-go. And just his running ability, man. Like, when we had some tired legs late in the game, Noddy was still giving it 110%. He was taking the game on, running between defenders in tight contests. Loved Noddy's game today. He's really taken his footy to another level.
Oh, I thought some of his inside work today was particularly commendable. He seems to just split through contests like it's nothing. A very, very smooth moving footballer. His left foot is getting better by the game. I think I might have mentioned it earlier. And he's probably our most different dynamic to our CBA mix. We've got a lot of names that roll through there, but I think Nathan O'Driscoll provides the most difference whenever he does go through there. As I said, he's filled he's filled the void of Hayden Young better than anyone on our list could have. A very, very nice profile to have, and he's getting better by the game. I thought that was probably his best game of the season, and he wasn't even the main star. He's as good of a role player as you'll get.
22 disposals, a goal, 6 tackles. How many marks did he get? He got 4 marks as well. So he really did it all today, Nathan O'Driscoll. We were speaking about the midfield mix. Hayden Young comes back in now. It's probably Neil Erasmus that gives way, I think.
Yeah,
just
it will be.
Back to Nathan O'Driscoll before I had stopped talking about Nathan O'Driscoll. The fact that we were almost going to get rid of this guy in the draft, in the trade period last year. Like, the fact that he was even shopped around, like, man, he has proven that he is a best 22 player, and he's a Dockers man through and through. That's what we love most about him. So, well done to Noddy for putting in the work, getting back from the injuries that he went through last year, showing up on Derby Day, and showing why he is a best 22 player at Freo. We love you, Noddy. Back to the midfield conversation. So Hayden Young comes back in next week. Probably Erasmus that gives way. If you have Nathan O'Driscoll and Hayden Young in that same midfield, that will be causing headaches for opposition, I feel. Like, if you have, Brayshaw's going to roll through there most of the time, obviously, but I feel like Jackson and Serong have such a good connection. Obviously, Hayden Young will be in there. And Noddy, like, you got 2 left footers there that are shifty, that are hard to tackle, and then one of the best contested ball winners in the comp. Like, yeah, we're still so far from our best, but if we can keep Noddy in form, if Hayden Young can get up to the speed quickly, and Serong can play like he did today, like, that's what we need to really contend this year.
Yeah, Neil Erasmus probably will be the player that makes way, and that is unfortunate because he never seems to really get a fair run at it. He's going to have 2 straight games before he's straight back out the team. He's had 2 full games this time, no sub vest, and I think this game in particular, I thought he really showed his talent. Every time Erasmus has come into the team, because he hasn't been given that run at it, he sort of rushed with his disposal, a bit too eager to prove a point. Where I think today he was just a bit more focused on playing his role. I thought he bursted away from stoppage a few times today that gave us a few really nice runs going inside 50 and coming off halfback. So yeah, I thought Erasmus played really well today. He's a good kicker of the footy. He's good with his hands. And again, didn't put a foot wrong, but he will be the guy that makes way. He's just got to get back to Peel, put his head down, and force his way back into the 22, because any player can get themselves in this 22. I mean, Murphy Reid got drafted, 4 months ago, and now he's now probably one of the first names on the team sheet. So yeah, if he gets his head down back at Peel, I'm sure he'll find a way to break back into that midfield mix if he's good enough. And yeah, as you said, the dynamic and that Hayden Young and Nathan O'Driscoll in the same midfield are going to cause. Obviously, that's not going to be our main choice CBA mix, but whenever we have to roll something different mid-game, that is so scary for opposition players. I mean, the pace and the cleanliness of both of them is a massive headache, and it's a very difficult task of matching up on those two.
Yeah, Serong, Brayshaw also running through there. Like, yeah, who do you stop? I wonder if you almost send Hayden Young to halfback a little bit. Like, obviously not to defend first, but like, just that we have, I don't know, at times like moved at points in this year, like against Sydney and Geelong particularly, like lacked the ability to move the ball through the middle of the ground. And yeah, I don't know. Luke Ryan did it well today, and we do want to see Hayden Young further up the ground, but like that is an option. Like if, you know, Noddy and Serong, Brayshaw are getting it right, like I don't know. Or maybe I'm talking shit.
Nah, you're not.
It's good.
I think that like Luke Ryan plays or has been playing a lot deeper as of recent. So our 2 main distributors of halfback most of the time in our best 22 probably at the moment are Wagner and Clark. And I don't think Wagner and Clark, either of them, are even close to the capabilities that Hayden Young's left foot provides. So I think when we do need a bit more spark and a bit more dare off halfback, I think moving Hayden Young back there wouldn't be a silly thing to do whatsoever, especially with all these names we're going to have rolling through there. Like, when Hayden Young comes back, that also stems the conversation that Jagger O'Meara is probably going to be back next week. Like, he only missed today due to illness. So where do you fit him back in? Yeah, we've got so many names we have to work out. We've got to make sure we don't cram too many players in there as well, just for the sake of it. It's going to be a very big discussion at the selection table this week.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, Bolton just spends more time forward now. Like, O'Meara and Young come back in. Like, we want to see him kicking snags. We want to see him, you know, we want to see why we brought him in. Like, he's brought pressure. He had a good chase down tackle today. He didn't get rewarded on the score board again. But, like, yeah, as you said, it's going to take him time to gel into this team. Yeah, weird game. 4th quarter again. I really wanted to see us put our foot on the throat. But our set shot goal kicking throughout the day was just so frustrating. Like, it was pretty clear from like the 2nd quarter that we were going to win. Like, it was the West Coast of the last few years that we'd seen today. But like, yeah, just set shot after set shot missing. So frustrating. And if you're playing against a good team, like that was like a Carlton-esque performance, like their game against the Bulldogs on, what was it, Friday night, where, you know, they come out to a good start, kick the first 4 or whatever, but a good team will come back into a game. Like, a 4-goal lead in footy these days is nothing. If we're playing against a good side and dish that up in the 4th quarter, they would have ran all over us. Lucky it was against West Coast, and lucky they had some injuries late because they sort of ran out of legs as well. But yeah, that 4th quarter was concerning. What did you make of it?
Yeah, terrible, to be honest. Me and Dad were just pissing ourselves for most of it because we already had the game won, but some of our skills were so humorously bad. I'm sure we wouldn't be laughing if, again, we were playing against a better team, and not like a significantly better team. I'm talking about like the Western Bulldogs next week. They're a very verge top 8 team. They won't push top 4. but they will absolutely kill us.
They could, you know. They're playing good.
No,
They look very
I rate the Bulldogs, but they're not better than Giants, Hawthorn, Cats, or Brisbane. It's just as simple as that. Maybe the Cats. They haven't had a great start, apart from round one. But yeah, we will get absolutely ran over by a slightly better team. If we play like that. I thought some of the simple skill errors were so avoidable. And again, like, I'm sure it would have been a main focus in the 3/4 time huddle to run out this game, don't take the pressure off, do the fundamentals. And I don't think you can blame that on JL. Like, I'm sure he would have pushed that message at 3/4 time. But for some reason, the players just switched off yet again. It's so frustrating. We haven't played a full 4/4 performance in 8 months probably now. So, yeah, it's really annoying, and we need to find a way out of that last quarter rut.
It's almost like you look at those games that we've been a part of. Like last week against Sydney, we were pretty much in the lead for most of the game. It's almost like we think we have it won. Like against West Coast, we literally had it won. Like they could have come back, but let's be real, they weren't going to come back. The Essendon game last year, thought we had that one. Like, I don't know, it's just a mindset thing. It's like we get to a point in a game where we're tired and a bit fatigued, and we just allow the foot to come off ever so slightly. But like, yeah, look at how good of a side GWS are. In that final last year against Brisbane, they let their foot off the gas slightly, and Brisbane came back from 44 points down. What was it, at 3/4 time or in the 3rd quarter? And like, yeah, if we're going to be anywhere near it, we have to be vicious. Like Hawthorn against GWS the other night, they didn't kick a goal in the 1st quarter. They flick the switch in the 2nd quarter and like end up being ahead at halftime or close to. So yeah, there's a big gap between. I've sort of said this a few times tonight, but like your mediocre your shit teams, like, you know, West Coast, Richmond, your mediocre teams, your good teams, and your great teams, and that's the ability to turn your good work into score. I just don't think we're working hard enough late in games, and like that's not good enough. Like we need to be fitter. We need to be able to go harder for longer. And the fact that, you know, maybe early in the season there's still a bit of pre-season fatigue. Maybe you sort of get more accustomed to the level as the year goes on, but like we need to be running out games now. What do you think we can take from this? West Coast looked terrible. Murphy Reid made Harley Reid look like a rookie draft pick. Like he took one good mark and did really not a lot else. But yeah, we dominated their midfield. They were sloppy in possession all day. I don't really know if there's too much you can make of this, to be honest, other than getting the confidence out of it. What do you think?
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think we can gain out of this is confidence, and particularly for guys who have been lacking on it. Like a guy like Jai Amos, who has not been in form for a while now, to go out and kick 4, whether it's a good defence or a bad defence. He kicked 4 goals. They were 4 crucial goals in winning this game, and I think he can really kick on from here. Another game under the belt for Shai Bolton. It's just experience, confidence.
It's definitely Shai Bolton, bro.
I'm so sorry. It actually is Shai. I apologise if Shai is watching. Again, I think the back mix is slowly. I mean, today I think it was close to its best. We're sort of chopping and changing quite a bit through there at the moment. You know, Walker went out last week. Wagner went out Walker went out this week. Wagner went out this week. But I think when we get a consistent mix running through there, I think that'll be a lot more settled. And I overall think if we can just, when we get our good players back, if we can just keep a consistent side out on the park and get a good run of games in, I think we will just continue building towards our best. And yeah, as you said, I don't think we can take too much out of today, apart from confidence. 4 points on the board, and then we're out of the bottom 4.
Yeah, just a weird tangent. Carl Warner today, like, he did some courageous things in defense. Like, he had good moments and shocking moments. I think that's the best way to describe his
Such
game
a
today.
Brandon Walker type game.
Yeah, well, Brandon Walker has now got to the level where he like is consistent, but like, or before his injury. But like at GMHBA, watching him play on Ollie Dempsey was like, I wanted to pull my hair out. Like, he was just sagging off him, and Ollie Dempsey was just like, cheers, mate. Like, I'll just take the piss. And I think it was the goal that always kicked. Like, there was a stoppage inside our forward 50, or inside of the West Coast forward 50. And Warner was like 5 meters off Owies, who was his direct opponent, and let him kick a goal. But then the only other mistake he really made was kicking it backwards, and like, it was a direct turnover. But like, thought he defended well, came in, did the job. But to be honest, I'd prefer to see James Aish come in and play that role. He came on as sub, impacted well, played tough. But yeah, I think that's pretty much unpacked the game there in a nutshell. Get in the comments what you guys made of that derby. Dogs next week. Now, we'll break down this game throughout the week on the channel, as we have been doing. Not sure who's going to be on the Oppo view this week. We're going to have to figure that out. But Noah will be there with a preview. The Dogs have looked good. They were a side that I picked to be a bottom 4 team this year, like an absolute numpty. They lose Caleb Daniel, but their movement of halfback from guys like Bailey Dale, Sam Davidson, who's come out of nowhere.
The Doc.
Bro, he looks like an absolute freak, this Sam Davidson kid. He won the BNF for Richmond's VFL last year. But like him, Fraser, like these guys that have just come out of nowhere, these are big-bodied, athletic halfbacks. Like, they're going to pose us a big threat. Rory Love's defending well. Buku Khamis down back. Like, I did not think the Bulldogs were going to be good this year. Ed Richards in the middle is one of the highest rated midfielders in the comp. Luckily, no Bontempelli, but they got a kid called Sam Darcy up front who could genuinely kick 15 goals in a game of football. Like, he is just an absolute freak. I don't even know who you sent to Sam Darcy. Is it Josh Draper?
I'm really trying to think.
It's not Brennan Cox. It's not Alex Pearce.
It probably is Draper. I definitely don't send Cox to him. There's a case for Pearce, but Darcy would probably just run off him for fun. I mean, those two players you just mentioned, Sam Davidson, Joel Fraser, they can impact the game from basically any position. Like, they'll be on half forward, half back, through the middle, on the wing. And their work rate is something that really sticks out to me. I thought our work rate was good today, but I'm not sure, especially of those two. They're two young, hungry players. Fraser's been on the list for a year. Davidson's just come onto the list. They're very desperate to make their mark at the Bulldogs while guys like Bontempelli and Treloar are out. So I don't know if we've got anyone today that showed that level of desperation to make a mark in this 22. I think the way they play is so commendable, and I think we're really going to have to match the sort of dynamic that they'll be running through there. I mean, we were just talking about before the scariness of Young and O'Driscoll rolling through the same midfield for other teams, but I mean, Liberatore on Friday night was absolutely unbelievable. Fraser played a great role through there, and they had a few other names.
That kid up forward, is it O'Donnell or
James O'Donnell? Well, he's a backman that's just gone forward and is giving them a really good contest for
he looks
centre.
a player as well.
Yeah, very good. I mean, son of one of the best Australian cricketers of all time as well. It's a pretty good sporting family. Yeah, and as you said, Sam Darcy is a very, very big concern. I mean, him and Tracy are probably two of the best young forwards in the game at the moment, so it's going to be a bagel of the Titans. Absolutely can't wait for it. Their backline as well is very strong. They've just had Liam Jones come back in the team on Friday night as a reinforcement, so they should have Amos and Tracy covered in terms of matchups. So, yeah, it's going to be very intriguing. We'll unpack it throughout the week, and I'm very, very excited.
Last time we played them, they absolutely pulled our pants down.
Yeah.
Shocking game. But the time before that, to be fair, we won, but like that was Sam Darcy like showing the AFL like there was potential there in that game. Like every time the ball went near him, it looked like he was going to take a clunk. Dude's a genuine alien. But like just as a baseline, like what we can take out of this West Coast game is like the pressure has to be there. That is just a prerequisite to be in any position to win a game. The midfield, like centre bounce game has to be where it was at today. It looked outstanding today, to be honest. I was really happy with it. But yeah, we got to take our chances. We got to be more clinical. The Dogs, this is not going to be an easy game to win at all. Pre-season, I probably would have said it was, but now it's not. We might have Hayden Young back in, but I feel like this would have been a game where Sean Darcy would have been handy. You know, you got Tim English and Sam Darcy coming up against like a Luke Jackson and Sean Darcy. And I'd honestly be keen to see like Jackson just match up on Darcy all day. I don't know how that works because Darcy's like a deep lying forward, but like it'd be good to see, you know, Darcy play like a deeper role and then maybe try to like make him like Darcy work back the other way. Because obviously, like, they're two of the most athletic players in the competition. Like, yeah, I don't know how we're going to stop Sam Darcy, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully, we go to work on him and come out with some sort of outcome. But it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have Sean Darcy for this game because Tim English is a big lump of a man. Not necessarily width-wise, but his height is very, very difficult to counter. I think the first few weeks of this season, I know Reedy played round 1, but Sam De Koning, Brodie Grundy and Bailey Williams, they're 3 sort of rucks where Luke Jackson can not have his way, but he matches up reasonably well against them. Tim English is a very different prospect. And I was looking at something the other day, but our ruck matchups in the next few weeks, it's so crucial that we have Sean Darcy back to his best, because I remember last season, we all knew of Jackson's capabilities as a ruck, but he went through a patch of just playing a heap of massive bodies, and he was getting absolutely destroyed physically, and that's when we brought Meek into the team. Not Meek. That's when we brought Reedy into the team, when we played guys like Meek and Briggs. So yeah, I think having Darcy back for these next few weeks is going to be massive. Jackson's got a massive test on Tim English and Sam Darcy, tracking those guys around the ground, and I'm really intrigued. I hope he's up to the challenge. He sort of had his way with Bailey Williams today. Next week's certainly going to be a different task.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a toughie. I'm gonna be live streaming that game on the Footy from the Flat. So fan cams next week might be a bit later. I think that might be a UCAT job because that's the only game I can live stream. But if you want to see me ride the highs and lows of Freo as it happens, that'll be live on the True Footy channel. But yeah, we got to bring it again. Bring that pressure. Keep improving week on week. Hayden Young comes back in, and yeah, it could take us to another level. But yeah, you want to round us out, UCAT? What do you want to finish with?
Yeah, well, we were saying all throughout the week that, like, those first 2 games, in hindsight, not disastrous. We win this, we can kick on from here. We won this game. We won by 38 points. Was it perfect? No, but it was a big margin nevertheless. We got some positives all over the ground. We can take confidence coming out of this game and move on now to the Bulldogs, the Tigers, the D's, and whoever comes after that. So I think we're in a much better position than we were. We're sitting 13th on the ladder. We're 1 and 2, and we can really build from here. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with today. I think it's just so important to back it up next week with a good 4-quarter win.
Yeah, if we can beat the Dogs, like Richmond and Melbourne, like we got to be licking our lips looking at that fixture. Like, come on. Like, if we beat the Dogs, we could well and truly be 4 and 2. Every team's going to have form slumps throughout the year. Like the Cats at GMHBA, you pretty much chalk that up as a loss, most teams. Sydney, that was a gettable one. That's the one that's going to hurt us late in the year. But no, you said it well there. We shall wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. We're aiming for 1,000 subs. We want to get there as soon as we possibly can. So make sure you guys are hitting subscribe if you are Dockers fans and you're new to the channel. And yeah, leave a like on the video to help support. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one.